If you ask anyone in the town of Brinemont about the old wooden bridge by the river, they'll tell you it isn't haunted by ghosts. It's haunted by a memory. A memory of a boy who loved too deeply, and a girl who didn't know she was running out of time. Brinemont, USA was the kind of quiet, pine-scented town that didn't make headlines and didn't try to. Rows of maple trees framed the roads, and the air always smelled like a mixture of river water and distant campfire smoke. People said nothing exciting ever happened there. They were wrong. Ethan Cole was 17 when he first saw her. It was late August, the tail end of the golden summer. The sun was tipping behind the hills, painting the sky with streaks of tangerine and rose, one of those sunsets you see on postcards but never imagine witnessing in real life. Ethan had been biking home from the diner where he worked the evening shift, still wearing the apron with a ketchup stain that he was too tired to scrub out. He stopped pedaling when he reached the old wooden bridge, the one everyone in town called Fisherman's Crossing. The planks creaked, the rails leaned slightly inward, and the paint had faded decades ago, but Ethan loved that bridge. Something about it felt timeless, quietly waiting for stories. And that was where he saw her, sitting cross-legged on the railing, staring at the river below as if she was listening to secrets whispered by the current. A girl, a stranger, a moment that would change his life forever. Her hair caught the last threads of sunlight, glowing almost copper. She wore a denim jacket several sizes too big and held a sketchbook against her knees. She didn't turn when he approached, just kept drawing, her feet swinging absent-mindedly over the edge. Ethan wasn't the type to talk to strangers. He barely talked to people he knew. But something about her, maybe the loneliness flickering behind her posture, pulled him out of himself. "Hey," he said, instantly regretting how awkward it sounded. She didn't look at him. "Hey, dangerous spot?" Ethan said. "You could fall." She shrugged, still drawing. "I won't." "How do you know?" "Because I'm careful with the things I don't want to lose." That made him stop. He wasn't sure whether she was joking or confessing something she didn't want him to understand. "Mind if I sit?" he asked. She finally looked at him. Her eyes were a shade of hazel that leaned differently depending on where the light hit. Sometimes amber, sometimes green, always searching. "Suit yourself," she said. Ethan sat beside her on the railing, feeling the wood groan beneath them. "Nice view," Ethan said. "Nice view," she repeated, but she wasn't looking at the river. She was looking straight at him. That was how he met Lena Marwood. She had moved to Brinemont 2 weeks earlier, but no one really knew why. People whispered theories. Her parents were running from debt, she'd been kicked out of her old school, she was just another city girl who wouldn't last a winter in a small town. Ethan didn't care about any of that. Lena was different. She walked like she was always racing time. She spoke like words were pieces of glass she carefully chose before placing them. She drew everything: birds, abandoned buildings, strangers who didn't know they were being gently immortalized in her sketchbook. But she never drew herself. Ethan noticed that quickly. She avoided questions about her past. She carried medication in her backpack, but brushed off every inquiry with a grin that fooled everyone except Ethan. She was hiding something, but he wasn't brave enough to ask. Not yet. By mid-September, the leaves had begun turning, and Ethan found himself gravitating toward that bridge every night after work. Lena always seemed to be there, sometimes sketching, sometimes reading, often just staring at the river while her headphones leaked soft music into the breeze. "You don't really like the bridge," Ethan told her once. "You just like things that look like they've lived." She raised an eyebrow. "Is that your way of calling it old?" "It's charming." So, old. They laughed together, not loud, not showy, but enough to echo across the water like a kind of belonging. They became something unspoken. Not a couple, not strangers, more like gravity. Then came the night that changed everything. It was the first cold evening of fall. Ethan had biked to the bridge, expecting to find Lena in her usual spot. Instead, she wasn't on the railing. She wasn't standing. She wasn't anywhere he could see. He heard it before he saw her, a small, stifled sob. Lena was sitting on the ground, back against the railing, knees pulled to her chest, face buried in her arms. Her sketchbook lay open beside her, pages fluttering in the chilly wind. Ethan rushed to her. "Lena, what happened?" She didn't look at him at first, but when she finally raised her head, he saw it. The crack in her. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind that hurt more. "I'm fine," she whispered. "You're not." She inhaled shakily. "I had a bad day." "What kind of bad?" "The kind that ruins everything." He sat beside her, not touching, just close enough that she could lean if she chose to. Lena looked at the sketchbook, jaw trembling. "I messed up one drawing, just one, and suddenly I couldn't breathe." Ethan blinked. "You panicked because of a drawing?" She nodded weakly. "Hey," he said gently, "it's just paper." "No," she whispered, "it's more than that. I have this thing, this condition." She hesitated. "My doctor calls it a degenerative neurological disorder. Sounds fancy, right?" Ethan froze. Lena wet her lips. "I forget things, not little everyday things, big things, important things, and it's getting worse." Ethan's chest tightened. "My doctor says I'll lose fine motor control soon," she continued. "Drawing will be the first thing that goes." He stared at her shaking hands. "Lena, I didn't want you to know," she said, voice cracking, "because I don't want pity." Ethan didn't think. His hand found hers, cold, trembling, fragile. "I don't pity you," he said. "I care about you." Her eyes filled with tears. "You shouldn't," she whispered. "I'm temporary." "I don't care. Let me stay anyway." Lena pressed her forehead against his shoulder, sobbing quietly. And Ethan held her under the bleeding autumn sky, feeling for the first time in his life like love could hurt even before it bloomed. October rolled in with pumpkin decorations, chilly winds, and Brinemont's annual Festival of Lights, a small-town tradition where people released lanterns along the river, each carrying a wish, a mummery, or a prayer. Ethan convinced Lena to come. She resisted at first. "Crowds aren't my thing." "Then stay with me," he said. "I'll be your crowd." That made her smile, just enough to agree. When they arrived, the riverbank glowed with warm lanterns, families laughing, kids chasing fireflies, musicians playing soft folk music. Lena wrapped her oversized jacket tighter around herself, shivering lightly. "You cold?" Ethan asked. "A little." He hesitated, then slipped his hoodie off and placed it around her shoulders. Lena blinked at him. "What about you?" "I'm warm." "You're shivering." "I'm warm on the inside," he insisted. She rolled her eyes affectionately. "Idiot." But she kept the hoodie. They walked to the river's edge, where volunteers handed out unlit lanterns shaped like small boats. "What are you gonna wish for?" Ethan asked quietly. Lena didn't answer immediately. She knelt, tracing her thumb along the lantern's wooden edge. "I don't know," she murmured. "Wishes feel like lies lately." "Then don't wish," Ethan said. "Just hope." She looked at him for a long moment. Then she whispered, "Okay."
Ethan watched her kneel and light her lantern. The flame warmed her face, softening its edges, making something fragile feel sacred. "What did you hope for?" he asked. She didn't look up. "A little more time." Ethan swallowed. "Time for what?" she said simply. "For this," she said. "For days like today. For you." His breath caught. Before he could respond, she reached for his hand. "Stay with me, Ethan," she whispered, "as long as I still remember you." His heart broke quietly, softly, hopelessly. "I'm not going anywhere," he whispered back. They released their lanterns together. Two tiny lights drifting side by side along a river, just like them. Lena and Ethan's lanterns drifted until they were tiny specks swallowed by the dark water. The festival faded around them, music softening, crowds thinning, laughter drifting away like smoke. But Ethan felt something change inside Lena that night. She wasn't just a girl hiding a secret anymore. She was someone trying desperately to outrun time, and he was someone foolishly willing to chase it with her. After the Festival of Lights, Lena pulled Ethan into her world more than ever. They started meeting everywhere, by the bridge, behind the school gym, at the diner where Ethan worked part-time. Some afternoons, she sat in a booth near the window, sketchbook open, waiting for him to finish his shift. "Let me draw you," she said once. Ethan blanked. "Why me?" "Because I draw things I'm afraid to forget." He swallowed. "What if you forget anyway?" She froze just a second, then whispered, "Then at least I'll have proof you existed for me." So Ethan sat still while she sketched, her brows furrowed, tongue peeking slightly from her lips, adorable, focused, lost in her world of pencil strokes. After half an hour, she turned the sketchbook toward him. It wasn't perfect. The shading was slightly uneven, the lines trembled more than before. But it was beautiful because she had tried. Ethan felt something crack inside him. "Lena," he whispered. "Don't get mushy," she smirked. "Your face isn't worth tears." "Wow, thanks." "Anytime." But when he looked again, he saw her hands shaking, just a little, too much. By November, the cold became harsher, and so did Lena's condition. Some mornings she woke up dizzy. Some days her fingers felt numb. Some nights she forgot conversations they had just hours before. The first time it happened, Ethan panicked. They were sitting at the bridge sharing fries from a paper bag. Lena was laughing at one of his stupid jokes when she suddenly paused. "Ethan," she whispered. "Yeah?" Were we here yesterday?" she asked. "No," he said. "We went to the diner. You stole my milkshake." "I did?" Her eyes widened. "Why would I do that? I hate vanilla." "You said chocolate is too mainstream." "That sounds like me," she admitted, but her smile trembled. Ethan reached for her hand. "It's okay." But she shook her head violently. "No, it's not okay. I can't just lose pieces like that." She pressed a trembling hand over her forehead. "What if next time I forget something bigger, something important? What if I forget?" She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't have to. Ethan grabbed her hand firmly. "You won't forget me." "You don't know that." "Then I'll remind you every day." Tears filled her eyes. "What if I forget myself?" "Then I'll remember for you." It was the most painful promise he had ever made. Winter came early in Brinemont, white, quiet, and merciless. The first snow fell on a Friday afternoon. The sky turned heavy and gray, and the world softened under a blanket of frost. Lena and Ethan were walking home together, boots crunching against the fresh powder. "Snow makes everything look new," Lena said, twirling once, like a fresh start. "You want a fresh start?" Ethan asked. "Yes," she said softly, "but not without you." He didn't know what to say. Words weren't enough for moments like this. So he gathered some snow, shaped it roughly into a crooked heart, and held it out to her. She laughed. "That is the ugliest heart I've ever seen." "It's my love language," he protested. "I make terrible gifts." "Well," she said, taking the snow heart carefully, "well, it's perfect then." Ethan wished he could freeze that moment forever. The snowfall, her smile, the innocence in her eyes, the simplicity of their happiness. But just like the snow heart melting in her palm, good moments didn't last long with Lena. One cold morning, Lena didn't show up at school. By lunch, Ethan's stomach was twisted with worry. He biked to her house after his shift, breath fogging, fingers numb. Lena's mother opened the door, pale, tired, older than she had looked last month. "Oh, Ethan," she sighed. "She didn't tell you?" "She's okay, right?" he asked immediately. "She had a checkup today, in the city, a long one." "Is she home?" "Yes," her mother said quietly. "But Ethan, she's not having a good day." His heart sank.
Lena's room was dim when he entered. The blinds were half closed, and her sketchbooks lay scattered all over the floor, pages torn, pencils snapped. She was sitting on the bed, hugging a pillow tightly. "Lena," Ethan whispered. She didn't look at him. "You should go." "I'm not going anywhere." "I said go," she snapped. Ethan stepped closer. "Tell me what happened." Her lip trembled. "My doctor says the progression is faster than expected." The words hit him like a slap. "I might lose fine control in a few months," she whispered. "Maybe weeks." Ethan felt the air leave his lungs. "I won't be able to draw," she continued. "Not even write properly. I'll forget things faster. My muscles will weaken." She pressed a shaking hand to her forehead. "Ethan, I'm losing myself." He knelt in front of her and took her hands. "You're not losing yourself," he said firmly. "You're still Lena. You're still stubborn. You're still sarcastic. You're still the girl who stole my milkshake." A small laugh escaped her. "I told you I hate vanilla." "Yeah, well, you stole it anyway." She looked at him, really looked. "Why do you stay?" she whispered. "I'm a disaster." He shook his head. "You're my disaster." Something broke in her expression. Fear, sadness, love, everything tangled into one. "We're running out of time," she said. "Then let's make the time we have louder than the time we lose." He wrapped his arms around her, and she finally let herself break against him, sobbing into his chest, hands gripping his shirt like she was afraid he'd vanish. He didn't. Not then, not ever. When Thanksgiving arrived at the end of November, Brinemont shimmered with lights, decorated porches, and the smell of pumpkin pie drifting through neighborhoods. Ethan invited Lena to his family dinner. "You sure?" she asked. "I might ruin the mood." "You already ruined my peace of mind," Ethan shrugged. "Might as well ruin my dinner too." She punched his arm lightly. "You're an idiot." "That makes two of us." His parents welcomed Lena warmly. His mom hugged her, his dad complimented her jacket, and his little sister Emmy slipped her a handmade bracelet that Lena wore proudly all night. But halfway through dinner, Lena's fork slipped from her fingers. Her hand twitched uncontrollably. She froze. The table fell silent. Ethan took her hand immediately. "It's okay." But Lena was breathing hard, eyes filling fast. "I'm tired," she whispered. "Can you take me outside?" He nodded and guided her to the porch. Snowflakes slowly drifted around them, sparkling under the warm porch light. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "For what?" "For breaking," her voice cracked. "In front of your family." "Lena," Ethan said softly, "you didn't break." She looked up at him, eyes trembling with something too painful to name. "I'm scared, Ethan."
He wrapped his arms around her and pulled her close. "Me too," he admitted, "but we'll be scared together." She buried her face in his chest. "I love you," she whispered suddenly. Ethan froze. The world froze. Even the snowflakes seemed to hang in the air for a second. He cupped her face gently. "Say it again." "I love you," she breathed, cheeks red from cold and emotion. Ethan kissed her, softly, slowly, like she might disappear if he moved too fast. "I love you too," he whispered against her forehead. And under the quiet snowfall, for a moment, they forgot everything that was coming.
That's the end of part 1. If you've enjoyed this wild and bittersweet love story, please continue to part 2. It's gonna get even more interesting. Thanks for watching.